Welcome back to the Conscious Salon podcast. Now, today we have an extraordinary guest joining us.
Thank you, Nikki. That was so kind of you. I wouldn't say extraordinary for me, but that's really humbling.
Language.
Someone whose story, resilience and innovation have left an incredible mark on the hair and beauty industry. Our guest is the owner of the award-winning salon that was crowned the 2023 Victorian Salon of the Year.
Yeah, a fucking moment for that as well.
Last year, she was inducted into the prestigious AHFA Fame team. She is no stranger to the spotlight, also as a regular on stage at Hair Festival, inspiring so many people with her passion and her exceptional talent in hair. Her impact goes far beyond awards and accolades. She has completely revolutionised what it means to be an inclusive salon, being the first in our industry to introduce gender-neutral appointments, or one of the first, setting a new standard for what inclusivity looks like in our industry. Last year, she took her vision to even greater heights, signing a lease for an incredible 336 square metre space in Footscray, a bold step forward that shows her unwavering commitment to growth and innovation. While building her empire and shaping our industry, she has also been busy raising her child, Junior, with her partner, Heath, and she's been a really open book about her journey overcoming addiction and finding new life in sobriety.
Yeah.
Her courage in sharing her story. I feel so unaccomplished, by the way, reading this.
So beautiful. Her eulogy.
Her courage in
Accolades.
Eulogy.
Wow.
Her courage in sharing her story has inspired so many people, us included, proving that vulnerability and strength really do go hand in hand. It was a no-brainer to get her to be part of our Motherhood series. We just couldn't have done this series without starting with Sheridan. We are so grateful to welcome to the podcast the incredible MAMAWEST Sheridan-Rose Shaw. Thank you so much for being here.
Yay, standing ovation.
That was stunning.
How does it
You
feel
can
to
do
hear
mine now,
that?
Nikki.
Wow. It honestly blows
It's
me
pretty
away.
amazing, right?
Whenever I get introduced, I'm like,
Yeah.
holy hell. Because I am a bit of a quick gal. I'll like move
Girl
on
has
real
achieved a
quickly
lot.
on to the next. So
Yeah.
it's nice being fed back the truth
It's
of
pretty incredible. Like, that is no small feat.
no.
You've
no small
really,
feat.
I mean, you've gone big. You've not done it in little increments. You've really
I'm just not a little
hard or
kind
go
of
home.
gal.
Yes,
It's not the. I mean, to paint a picture. Actually, no, we've got a picture following this. Sheridan looks $1 million today. We've got the red carpet shoes, the red carpet pants. I reckon. You know, it's devastating. I reckon I've got a pair of those pants at home. Do you remember I had the red?
What's so devastating
the
about these red
Adidas trackies
pants?
that
But I
you
wasn't
can, like-
wearing them. We could have been matching.
Oh, we should have
I know.
planned.
We should have
I mean, look,
planned.
but
I
it's
chose
the
to wear all
necklace
black
that's
because
everything for me.
I said to Tess, I'm not going to interfere with Mama's colours because I know that Sheridan's going to be decked out in like
always a
colour.
vibe.
So I'll go muted in black.
And I've gone with what's clean
gone
and
in
fitting.
between.
Yeah, you're kind of like,
And
we're
yeah,
well balanced.
We're I'm giving 36 weeks pregnant in 35-degree day. And Sheridan's giving like mama chic. Also, the necklace is probably
Sheridan's giving fairy.
it's like it's
I'm
family
giving
heirloom.
backstage crew.
He's giving sound and lighting.
But Sheridan,
And
we
yes,
really
we're
wanted
having a
to
good day.
wanted to
Yes.
get you on to chat all things motherhood and be part of our Motherhood series. So essentially what we're trying to do with this series is we want to break the idea or the limiting belief that so many women in our industry have around being able to run a successful salon and grow your business while also being a really present mum. So that is first and foremost the reason that we got you here today. But we want to kickstart with asking you our first question, which is, what is your key to staying conscious?
Oh, it is the key, actually, to this big full life. And yeah, moving through some of those limiting beliefs. I think the key for me is regular conscious connection back to self. And I do that through meditation. I do that through prayer. I do that through journaling. I do that through talking with like-minded people that can hold space for me. I do that through mentorship. You know, my weak spots are pointed out to me all the time through mentorship, and mentorship has saved my life, you know. So I think it's not just one thing, but if it was, it would be breath work or meditation for me. But yeah, it's a conscious choice, and I have to re-choose it on a daily basis because I forget very quickly. And yeah, but that's important too, because then I get the contrast.
How do you find the balance of doing that? Because I know, like, even just from like knowing, seeing how you show up, and I know, like, even today, you've been a busy, productive girl. We're only halfway through the day, I think, and Sheridan's pretty much ticked off the last majority of what people would have achieved in a week. She's done today. When we think of that fast pace, and even hearing like how much you've achieved in like a short time, like you're not an old girl in this game.
No.
How do you find that balance of being able to ground yourself doing those connective practices, that real like conscious side of things, as well as having that other side to you, which is the productive guru that we know you to be?
Yes.
The list maker, the ticking it off, the getting shit done.
Yes.
How do you keep that flow?
I think it's prioritizing consciousness first. Like the first thing I do, or at least the first thing I did today, because we've got to practice what we preach,
Let's hear.
was wake up at 5:30 a.m. I didn't want to get up, but I did. And I jumped straight into a meditation for 15 minutes, working through my manifestations and what I want in my life.
Beautiful.
And that was it. I've got a timer on my phone that doesn't let me log on until I've connected with my son as well.
Beautiful.
And I don't always hold that up. Doesn't always work. Sometimes my mind takes the front foot before the consciousness does. And when that does happen, it's pretty hard to catch up, but I'll get these moments or glimmers of like driving my car to work, having that moment to choose, do I meditate now? You know, so I'll have like a few little windows. Even if I don't pick up those windows in the morning, it's probably not going to happen, and I'm going to run on my masculine doing most of the day. So I think prioritizing it first thing when I wake up in the morning is the best way for me. And when I don't do that, I suffer, and I always end up back there because I don't want to live in suffering. I want to live in conscious kind of choosing the way that I want to live my life.
I love that. Yeah, like you're in that perfect flow with that. Like even just how you've answered that. I'm like, even the way you're answering this is conscious.
Sheridan, I want to hear about your journey with opening your first commercial space, because obviously we're going to talk about you being in the new space as well. But your first commercial space, which was obviously a lot smaller than what you have currently.
Yes.
But how old was Junior when you did that? And can you talk us a little bit through your journey being a mum and opening a commercial space? Because you did have a salon beforehand that wasn't in a commercial space.
Yes, I did. So I was working from home. I was the breadwinner in the family. I had a 2-year-old and I didn't believe that I could have it all. So I think I'm the perfect guest to actually have first off the bat, because I worked through that limiting belief with a mentor, Simona from Bali. She changed my life because she used to say to me, she's got an accent. I can't even try to imitate it, but she used to say, you can have it all. And I'm like, oh. So first and foremost, I started to have to believe that I could have it all. And I was a little bit different to most parental roles, where because I was the breadwinner, Heath had probably expected me to be the woman that stayed home and looked after the child, and much to his disgust, I wasn't. And I'm just never going to be. And I think I held a lot of shame around that in my life in the early stages, because I went back to work 2 weeks after giving birth. And
that's wild.
It is wild. Like I look back at it, but I was so afraid. And again, I was working from home. I wasn't eligible for the maternity leave either, because I had really not practiced spiritual principles in all of my affairs, and I had massive impacts. So I had to work. I had to. If I didn't work, we couldn't live off one wage. So I think moving through that limiting belief and starting to pay my taxes and doing everything by the book gave me these opportunities. Doors started opening in a way that I felt really good about, and I could take really big leaps because I was able to trust my instincts, trust the signs that were kind of led before me, trust the actions of turning into a good Samaritan. And how to run a commercial business by getting mentorship pretty much immediately, learning my numbers and trusting that I could have it all. But that also meant good partnership and having a man in my life that could step up when I was stepping up in a different way. And I think we've both done the dance for a long time in the relationship, where Heath has tried to lead in that way and I've tried to lead harder. And it's just, he was raised more by his mother. I was raised more by my father. So this is just our dynamic. And I've tried to be the feminine, you know, beautiful energy of just cooking and it's just not who I am.
Who you are. Yep.
It's not who I am. So I think we've both now as your child gets older, it just gets easier.
Totally.
And people used to say that and I'm like, they're full of shit. But then Junior turned 5 and I was like, oh, like it does get easier in a different way. So now Heath is in the salon managing the team with me and we're building this dream together. Beautiful. But it's taken a lot of deep work. And I have always prioritized personal development over professional development. And I think personal development will win 10 times over before you start looking at the numbers in your business.
Totally.
Because you've got to
one thing that
believe.
so many people miss is, you know, they think it's all just like 90% strategy and 10% mindset. And it's so far beyond that. Like we can get people to look at their numbers, look at their leadership, look at, you know, so many different parts of their business, their profit. If they don't work on themselves first and foremost, they will have no team in their corner. They won't be attracting A-grade clients.
Yes.
They won't be clear on what their vision is.
Yes.
And they won't have enough knowledge and understanding about ego and how it can affect us in our businesses daily.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we always work on the individual first and then work on the business. It's so key in what we do.
Yeah, well, just on the back end of that, what a lot of people don't know about MAMAWEST is when we were successful very quickly, immediately, and you just don't hear of that kind of thing happen. So for the next 3 to 6 months, I was bawling my eyes out every single week, accepting success, accepting the revenue coming in, doubling, tripling. I was hysterical and I didn't know. I was like, why am I so upset? How come I can't welcome this success in my life? And I had to who cries over a successful business?
Well, can I ask, why did you? Have you identified why?
I wasn't worthy of that. I was working through that.
I was thinking that. It's like, I guarantee
belief.
It would have been a worthiness.
It was all
Plays
worthiness.
out all the time. Yeah.
Because I think when you level up and you step out and you're finally seen and you're heard, you have to move through I'm a fraud, I'm not good enough. And that's what comes up. So you've got to have that personal development journey to be able to work through that and not sabotage, all that revenue coming in, spending it because you don't know what to do with it, And I never did that. I held on to every single penny and then reinvested every single penny back into the business, which not a lot of people do because they just don't know how.
Yeah. I love that you also brought up the dance that you had with your partner, Heath. I love that dance of the whatever resonates, feminine, masculine, fire and water, whatever you at home resonate with. But that whole thing, the expectation of when you have a baby, you're going to be at home, the man's going to go out and they become the breadwinner and how that, if you flip that, would that have really worked for you? Probably not. And actually accepting this part of you that is more, no, actually I find myself more of the fire or the masculine and my partner's more of the softer or gentler or feminine side, and not having that be something that becomes a hindrance or something you have to change. I think that's the thing for me, especially with we still have so much of gender put onto these roles.
Yeah, agree.
And the reality of this is it's not it's because Nicola and I are in similar positions with our partners.
I think you've ever called me Nicola.
I know, I heard that and I was like, don't react. And you have, so that's good. Yeah. Mama's like, where is she? There's a fourth. But when we look at it like that, we have the same with our partners. We've got very gentle, soft, and similarly, we're the breadwinners. We're the ones that, have gone back to work and will, continue that way. Or we're adjusting it now, I would say. But the responsibility is, I think, that's the thing I really resonate with my household. The responsibility, I feel very heavy on myself. But even now seeing that as a beautiful balance rather than, and how we can work together and have that as our strength rather than that being something that we need to flip around because society dictates that should look differently to what it does.
Yeah.
And I love that you've brought that up because I know there'll be so many people hearing this who will be like, that's my relationship. That's how I feel I need to change that. And I love that you're kind of pushing back, being like, no, you can accept that and really.
Acceptance.
Yeah. And it can be incredible. It can be a really wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So Sheridan, how did you feel going back to work after the 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Did you go back out of obligation, just full transparency here, did you go back out of obligation or did you feel ready to go back? How did you actually feel doing that?
I was ready.
You were?
You can take
that.
You can take the entrepreneur out of the salon.
I really struggled parenting for the first 2.5 years.
Yeah.
The more Junior could learn to communicate and give back energetically, like the more I've grown into my heart and my heart is open. I also think for the first 5 years of my parent journey, I was working through my own childhood trauma, my own neglect, my own abandonment, my own, disconnection and disassociation that I'd experienced growing up, and noticing that's what I'm doing. I'm disassociating and I'm fully enmeshed in my work and I'm not seeing what's around me. And I think things have changed, and I think things do change. And I think I am a lot softer and I'm way more in my feminine than I've ever been, especially in parenting. And I see Heath really taking the role of the masculine energy in the parenting as well as me in the feminine. I'm a lot softer.
Beautiful.
I'm a lot softer, and I see the difference and how important it is. But Heath's really good with boundaries, and I'm probably a little softer. I still know how to do it, and I've learned how to do that through having a business actually. But I'm just softer, and I will do the boundary, but I hate it. I hate conflict. And I know it's really important, especially having a business. It's a conflict on a weekly basis. But yeah, I think it didn't feel like an obligation. It felt like I just would do that anyway. It's just who I am. I like having something to do. I love having something to do, actually. And I'm just not the sit at home, watch my baby for 13 hours. Like, I just can't think of anything worse.
I think this is really important to normalise, because so many women listening to this might have the exact same feelings, and they may feel guilt. They may feel a fear of judgment. So many different things that come up. Like, I went back to work when my son was 6 days old.
Yes.
I would do things differently now, but for different reasons.
Yes.
And it was just what, obviously we do what we can at the time with the things that we have and that we know. But I was faced with so much judgment over that.
Yeah,
so much judgment.
Judgment.
And some of the things that I heard from other women were like crazy. I'm talking like a girlfriend saying, you have no connection to your son. Just huge amounts of judgment of people thinking that things should be, would have been different. And they wouldn't be asking the same questions if it was around my boyfriend going back to work. Yeah. So it's a really interesting conversation to start having, but just having a moment to normalise the fact that you were like, I'm ready to be back in the salon. So were there any key moments that you can share with us when Junior was little, challenging moments of running a business while you were trying to look after a baby, raise a family, do all of the things? Is there anything that really sticks out in your mind of like?
Absolutely. Not sleeping and having to go to work, breastfeeding, having to go to work, having a pump in between clients. Like, although I'm the breadwinner, I'm the one that's working full time. Heath was working on and off at times, and we tried the him not working thing. And 2 weeks in, he's like, I want to stop.
Yeah, right.
So surprise, surprise. But, I just think having to carry the weight of being the primary parent, like being the woman that has birthed, that has the breasts, that has, obviously has to look after and care for Junior in a way that Heath just can't. Those things were hard. Not sleeping was really hard. And Junior only just started sleeping through at like 2.5. Wow. So Junior tore Heath and I apart. And we broke up for a small period of time as well. And I never thought that we would ever get back together again. But Heath was in the red. I was in the red. Yeah. And we were seeing red. Of course we're going to be.
Where are you going to find a shade of green through that? Yeah.
You can't. No. It's impossible. And I just don't think people normalise that enough either. Because, it's just, there are times that you're trying to get your baby to sleep and you've got to work the next day, a 12-hour day, and, they're not going to sleep. That's when you see red.
During that time when you were like having those moments, was Heath still in the salon at that point?
So we hadn't even launched MAMAWEST by this point. Actually, I lie. Because Junior hadn't slept till like 2.5, I think Junior was 2 when we launched MAMAWEST. So there was 6 months of still hardship, and
Right.
putting Junior to bed was exceptionally difficult for me personally. That was always the time that just broke me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a very patient person.
Right.
And it requires a lot of patience sometimes. Second that changed, everything lifted. Like the moment Junior has been able to take himself to sleep, like everything has shifted. My relationship has improved. The business has improved. I have improved. Like everything starts to shift. So I think just the first 2.5 years of having a baby is difficult, but if you can just get through that, there is like a light at the end of the tunnel and you can focus on other things. And I've been able to build things at the same time as being a parent. And I've looked at, people that have walked the path before me, leaders in this industry like Renya, leading a global career while still having babies, and people like Natalie Ann having 2 kids in the last 5 years and still seeing that the empire that she's building. And to be honest, I haven't had another child because I have doubted whether I can do that. And it's only now that I'm starting to reconsider my one and done-ness. Heard it here first.
I'm sorry. Is this an exclusive?
This is totally exclusive. I can't believe I'm even
doesn't
saying
even know.
it. Oh, he knows. He's manifesting. He's like, I want triplets in this pregnancy.
He's so keen. It's getting mama on board.
Keen as mustard because, he has sacrificed many of his dreams for this dream, this big dream that we've been able to achieve together. And he wanted more kids straight away, but I was like, absolutely not. One and done. I can't live my career and live out my dream if I have another child, because it's a capacity thing.
Right.
But what happens, as you just heard it here first, the last 2.5 years, my capacity has grown. I've got more, my heart is more open. I can hold more. I can trust myself more. I can trust in what I've built over the last 4 years and that it's not going to go away overnight. I've got to trust in the legacy that we've built in a very short period of time, and that, you don't just get axed because you had a baby.
Exactly.
You've built a brand that's so much stronger than just you. Like it stands on its own now, and it has its own, like we're having the confidence to know that stands whether you're there or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's really interesting, even in that with all the work that you've done. That's also now expanding where it can, all the limiting beliefs and worthiness and all of these things that we've already touched on. Having that one and done mentality of like one and done, I can't, I won't, and flipping that now, being like, hang on a minute, maybe there is something there. And however that looks, might be something it might just be a thought for a while.
Exactly.
But just having the openness to not be like, I don't want to go back to that, or the expectation of if I do that, that means that it's going to be the same and it's going to look the same and it's going to, all the like, what's that word? Glass ceilings that we cap on ourselves. Where we're like, no, can't do that. That won't work. That will take this. That will, like, seeing it from a more abundant sort of mindset.
Absolutely.
What else? What am I really wanting? And actually listening to that. Like that all comes down to consciousness, personal development, working through things, changing those limiting beliefs.
Yeah, and the business
Powerful.
has always been my number one value.
What's your first baby, right?
Well, it is.
Well, it
actually was. Yeah, it was. Just because I had my own business and I built something for myself. And I was really attached to that because that helped me work through a lot of limiting beliefs. I was good enough. I was a good enough hairdresser to carry a clientele that wanted to see me post salon and wanted to help let me help them, in all the ways. So I just think, and then community also saved my life as well. Like growing up, it was my best friend's parents that, gave me money. It was my best friend's parents that made them lunch and they'd split their sandwich with me. It was community that saved my life. So I built a business revolved around community, and they were my number one value. Because they were the one that was, that's how the revenue was coming in. I was so grateful to be building something like with giving back as well. So that was my number one value. And it took a while for the family value to get ahead of that because that was never role modeled to me. My family role modeled business first, family second. So I did exactly that. And it's only been in the last 6 months that finally my family are the people I go home to. My family aren't going to abandon me over a problem.
Yeah.
If I put the needs of all of my clients before my own, I'm screwed.
How does that look? Yeah.
Right? But for a while I did that. And now it's just so much nicer putting them first because I can go home into my safe space, no matter how big the problem, I've got a safe space to go back to. And then I can go back to the other safe space that I'm building and know that another problem will come, but I'll know how to solve it, not just me, but with Heath too. So I think...
Oh, I just got goosebumps. That was beautiful.
It's taken a long time, but this is the work, you know? And we go into businesses and we think they're going to save us or they're going to do something. And it has in some ways for me, in lots of ways. But now it's like I just trust more in myself.
In your ability. It's a different level of self-regulated, isn't it? Like we talk about this with all of our private clients at the Conscious Salon and all of our community. Of once you get to the other side of, oh, actually, I'm not going to live to have a business. My business is going to support my lifestyle.
Oh my God.
Yeah, once you get to the other side of that and you think, wow, I used to live a life where every emotion that I felt, the way that I came home to my family, the way that I was present or not present was dictated around how my day had gone at work in the salon.
So true.
And it's really confronting to think about that, isn't it? Like to think about if we had a client complaint or a one-star review.
The client complaints. I still cry.
Yes.
I'm such a sensitive human being. Yeah. And it's just, you know, when you put I care more about my business than Heath does, than anyone else in my team. And that's the whole point. But that's why we need to protect ourselves from those things. It's like now Heath deals with the client complaints. You know, that's his role because I'm just too sensitive. Yeah. I literally absorb their energy and that's the reason why you want to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Like, which is just insane. Yeah. But that's also how my brain is wired. That type of conflict is very familiar to me.
Putting a beat between you and you know, the client complaint, for example, but putting a beat in between to be able to have a different level of self-regulation because as creatives, as hairdressers, as beauty therapists, we go into an industry that is all around caring for, holding space for, nurturing other people. So we have a level of people pleasing and
Absolutely.
we're inherently empaths. Like we are inherently empathetic people. So we're absorbers. Someone comes in with weird energy. We're like, oh God, this is my problem now.
Yeah.
It's built into all of us and we have to be really conscious of it, but also put in really healthy boundaries around how to not let that interfere into our lives. And it seems like you're on the other side of it now, which don't get me wrong, you're still going to have problems where you go, oh, fuck, are we burning this whole thing down today? But having that level of self-regulation where it's not going to interfere with your time sitting with Heath and Junior at the dinner table, talking to each other, connecting.
Yeah.
You know, because
compartmentalizing. Which is a really important skill if you want to be in business.
Absolutely.
And I'm only just figuring that one out. You know?
And it's still, I don't think anyone ever masters it.
Yeah.
I think especially, well, I'm yet to meet anyone in our industry that has fully mastered it. But I think we get better at it. It's like a muscle. We learn how to strengthen it and we can create it, because I'm still the same. If I hear that someone's, you know, not happy or, you know, you have that.
It hurts.
It hurts.
Yeah.
And
because you want to please.
No one sets out with the intention of like, I hope that everyone hates what I'm doing and like wants to like burn my salon to the ground. But I think that's the thing. It's just creating those or putting things in place so that it doesn't impact you the same way that it has before, or like having those reactions. I'm so sorry, Aiden, I keep whacking this thing. Great. We have those things where we are aware of like, cool, this, I'm not good to people if I'm focusing on this. Heath can handle this. I can outsource this. Or you can delegate it to other people in your team of like, I know that was a big one for you, where you can delegate out like with client complaints. You found that
I'm a sensitive gal.
Yeah.
And
Nikki's a true Cancerian, hard on the outside.
Are you Cancer?
Yes.
Are you?
Fucking Cancer.
What's your birthday?
What's this? For the 4th?
Are you 4th of August?
July?
Oh, wait, 4th of July. Okay. I'm the 20th. So I'm just on the cusp. But I'm very hard exterior, confident.
Yeah.
You know, great, blah, blah, all those things. But then squishy and soft and so fucking sensitive. The emotions run as deep as the ocean for us. But yeah, putting that boundary in place of like, for me, client feedback I can be okay with. Angry client complaints, I need to have a beat in between, and our team leader needs to deal with that because it affects my home life.
Yeah.
You know, I take that home, whereas she won't because she's got that less emotional investment. Sheridan, I really want to talk about something. You've been really open about your sobriety, and this is one thing that inspired me the most about you because sobriety is something that runs deep in our family.
Addiction runs deep in our family.
Sorry.
We're hoping sobriety. Addiction runs deep in our family.
Addiction runs deeply in our family. And Tess and I have always been really aware of this, and we are committed to breaking the cycle in our family. And as entrepreneurs, we're 3 times more likely to have addictions to substance. So I would love to hear what inspired your journey for sobriety and whatever you want to share on that.
Wow. First and foremost, hi. I'm sorry that you guys know the depths of addiction and despair, because it is a family illness, I think. Like, it's just riddles and ruins anyone that has anything to do with the addict. And I have been on, both sides as a child of 2 alcoholic parents. It's, and it's in, of course, riddled with addiction myself. So I think I don't know if I was inspired to get clean, but I had no other choice. It was either I don't belong in a psych ward. That's not where, this doesn't feel like home.
No.
But the second I was exposed to another community environment that felt like I could identify with other people that were sharing their story, that felt more like home. And that had everything to do with living abstinent from all drugs, and that includes alcohol.
Amazing.
So life is really difficult for me because of that. Like, I've gone through a lot, and I'm never going to change where I've come from. So I'm going to be sensitive forever. And what I experience as a problem might just be a problem to someone, but I will fully on a cellular level, be triggered back into some kind of space that I then have to work through. And I've got no other choice than to work through it, because I can't pick up anything. Like, I would love to just have a glass of wine to settle the anxiety of a really heavy work week, but I just can't do that. So that's probably why I need practices in my life more than ever before, like the meditation, the prayer, the journaling, the connection to others, the also giving back and mentoring others on how to stay clean a day at a time has been a really important part of my journey, because it just reminds me how far I've come. And I forget that I'm an addict until you guys remind me. That's also really scary, that I can forget where I've come from. That actually blows my mind on a week-to-week basis, that I forget that that's actually who I am fundamentally. But, I'm a recovering addict. I'm in recovery. I don't think about using. I'll think about killing myself before I think about using. And not that I ever will, but that's just my next kind of thought. It's not an option for me, especially now that I've got a son. I've been able to break the cycle in my family, which is really overwhelming at the moment for me and my family at the moment, because I wish it was different for other people in my family, but it just isn't. But I've got the gift of life. I've got the gift of awareness that, I can do that for my son in a way that wasn't really done for me. So, I just think the gift of giving is probably the most powerful gift I've ever received, because I've always been trying to get love from others, but having Junior has really just opened up my heart and mind to what's possible, not just for my family, but for his family, and the generational kind of, the things that you can break. It's really overwhelming, but really exciting.
I am so grateful you shared that, because that's hit me right, and please, Ada, bring in those tissues.
Thank you, Aiden.
We've got our king over here supplying us with all of the things, including tissues. I think that as someone that has had issues with drugs, alcohol, all the things I'm hearing, and it might be at different levels, but I absolutely am sitting this and understanding it. Something, as Nikki said, we've been really conscious of. Addiction runs deep in one side of our family. And I think it is only when you have that experience and know the depths of it, which is where it can be really it's very easy to put in that boundary of, well, not easy. You can make that choice of, I understand when you were saying I'd have that thought before that.
Yeah.
I get that, because it is only when you see the depths of what addiction can do, and the pain and the trauma that then goes down. It's not just the people around. It's generational.
It is generational.
To generation, to generation, to generation. And it literally can become your why. It's our why now with our kids. We don't want our kids experiencing this, knowing this. I know that you don't want that for Junior as well. And it can only be something that's really understood by people that are in that. But fuck, I appreciate you sharing that. And well done, mate. Truly, that's not an easy feat again. But you have really done the work. If I never knew anything about you, I would never assume that that's where you've been. But I'm so grateful that you shared it.
Yeah.
Because there'll be so many people that are listening to this that will either identify with that, hear that, or change from that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I've been really open about my journey as well, and you know, I've heard it from the top that I need to stop talking about my story because I need to be recognised for my skill set. So for the last 2 years, I've just been hammering my skill set because I don't want to be recognised for the girl with the story that got into X Factor because she had a story. Like I want to be recognised for being a fantastic hairdresser. And I think the thing about addiction, and you'll see it in so many people that we've bear witness to, especially in celebrities, and especially in some up-and-coming hairdressers and people that have walked the path before us, I think they have this addictive energy is actually a gift. I am obsessed with hairdressing and being better than I was yesterday. And because of that energy, it fuels me. Like I am still 18 years into my hairdressing career, getting one-on-one haircut training, focusing on my gaps and the things that I'm not good at, because that's just what I do. If I want to be good at something, I put in the work to get there. So
forever the student.
So it's about channeling that that obsessive energy, but you know, making it into things that are really useful for us and that help us, as opposed to being things that we don't realize at the time, or we may realize at the time that really hinder us and affect us. And as you said, breaking the cycle, like it's a massive responsibility, but we talk about this a lot in our retreats because a lot of women come and sit in circle with us at our retreats and they talk about, you know, the things that they've seen generationally in their families, you know, trauma, emotional, abusive situations, addiction, all sorts of different things. And it plays out in different ways and actually making that conscious step of this is what I want to do moving forward and this is how I want to raise my son in a really conscious way so that he never experiences those things. Making that decision to break the cycle, because especially from like millennials on, we have this addiction to being, you know, this addiction, pardon the pun, to being better than what we were, you know, and knowing more and doing better.
Owned.
Totally. But it's like, it can be utilised in a really beautiful way where we can actually make some massive, massive changes. Sheridan, I'd love to know, talk us through your leadership in the salon. So you've had, I imagine, a massive journey in leadership. You've got 15 on team now.
Yes.
That's like eye-watering, overwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
A commitment to payroll every week.
Another clap.
Can you talk us through your most pivotal moment or your proudest moment as a leader?
Good question.
Or even actually, can I take it a step further? Can we talk about your hardest day as a leader or as a salon owner and your most exquisite day as a salon owner?
Oh, you just took it to the next level.
Yeah, first cab off the rank. She's getting thrown in deep.
I was getting really excited to answer the first question. And then I remembered the moment that broke me and I wasn't sure if I was going to recover from in the salon because I'd hired a manager. I hired a manager, not a leader. And
what's the difference?
I tried to get leadership coaching for her. I was willing to invest in her.
Had you had any experience with this person prior, or like was she someone that you upgraded to, or not upgraded, like leveled up to manager, or was this someone that you got
promoted?
Internally?
Hired her to be a manager.
My God, can I talk? Hang on, sorry, I've just fucked up my words completely.
Yeah, it's like, were they my team
yes,
first?
No. Were they already in your team? That's a much easier way. Were they already in your team, or had you got this person on as a manager?
Yeah, I got this person on as a manager because I was in Fame Team at the time.
Of course, yes.
And for people that don't know what Fame Team is one of the most prestigious hairdressing programs where it's basically you get mentored by the best hairdressers, not just in Australia but in the world. You travel to London and you learn from the best. So this was taking me out of the salon at least once a month, sometimes 2 weeks out of the month. Like there was a lot of extra responsibilities and that meant that my focus was elsewhere. So I hired a manager knowing that was going to be happening. I hired a manager. I really tried to turn her into a leader, but I'm not that powerful. That was probably the hardest thing that ever happened because I had a manager and that's not who I am. I'm a leader. I lead in a very different way and this manager was telling people what to do, behaving quite toxically when I wasn't there, trying to one-up me in different ways, and I lost a few in my team at that time. So the culture shifted while I wasn't available in the same way. And I picked it up 3 months in. So, but 3 months can do a lot of damage.
Yes, it can. But I mean, thank goodness it was only 3 months and not 3 months and a day. But
3 months.
It can really be that, when you have that happening, or when people are, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like there was a bit of a title being thrown around, and a lot of ego, and knowing you for the person that I know you as, it's like
so
the polar opposite of the culture that Sheridan has created, and Mama don't like that. That's not Mama.
Mama don't like that.
Not at all. So that would have been really gut wrenching, especially being in the fame team and like having like this, like when you're in the fame team, like that is the elite of the elites. That is the top dogs.
It was amazing because it was in the time of being on Fame Team but winning Victorian Salon of the Year as well. Like in that 3 month period where I just didn't think we could even win. There's no way, because the internal world had just kind of crumbled.
Right.
And I was in my first big lesson of hardship that I'd ever experienced in the business. Actually, I'd experienced lots of others, but that was the hardest one for me. It felt like my heart was ripped out of my body and stomped on, because I'm not that type of person. It wasn't what I was trying to build or create. And I lost, one, probably 2 really good hairdressers because of it. And I never thought that we would recover. But what I learned from that is there is no one person in the business other than myself that is more important, because there will be another person that walks through that door, and there was, that healed me in a way that I just didn't even think was possible, and were actually even better than I could have thought possible. So I think when I've really struggled finding the right leader, and now I've found Heath, which he is a leader. He's come from similar background with me. He's done a lot of deeper work. He's also done drug and alcohol counselling, where he's, mentored and also counselled young people that have gone through their own addiction problems. So he knows how to ask questions in a way that he's brought into his leadership role as manager that he just does with the team now.
Ooh, and I also imagine there'd be a level of holding people accountable that would be really useful as well.
He's so good at holding people accountable, whereas I'm a little softer. So we're a good team. And I just don't know who else it could be other than Heath. So
shout out to our King Heath.
King Heath.
He's doing a tremendous job. Hats off to you, Heath. I love that. That's a really great share, because I guarantee you everyone sitting there now will have that moment of like, oh yeah, fuck, I had toxicity running through my salon.
Yes.
It cost me this, but I learnt that.
Well, and that's when we went from 6 to 9, we went back to 6, and now we're at 15. So you can't grow your team without another leader to help you lead.
Absolutely.
It's impossible. And that's why when you guys shiver at a team of 15, I don't. I'm like, this is easy, and I reckon we could take on another 3. Like
she's putting it out there. She's having a baby. She's having more team.
With an assistant manager
that
that's
we
can also coach into leading.
When you bring more people into your leadership team, obviously, to share the load, for sure.
I can't wait to see like Sheridan's next update. When you put a lot of things out there today, we're going to see what's coming forward.
I'm
so excited.
I'm going to make it all.
I know. I'm like, she's going to be meditating the whole way home with her eyes open.
Or crying.
Both healing. It'll be great.
Sheridan, I'd love to know, what do you want to be remembered for? What's your legacy?
Making a difference. That's even why I expanded. Yes, I expanded because I just didn't want 2 salons, because I can't be there. I can't be there to do the things. Like I wanted one big one so I could be there all the time and still be a part of making a difference. So we grew the salon. We've got 20 chairs now instead of 12, because we can make more of an impact and more of a difference. We took on the 336 square metre space instead of the half the salon size, which we could have, because I wanted to make a difference to other small business owners. And, we're working very closely with Miss J's Nails and Beauty. We're the perfect collaboration. She's been in business for 10 years. She always wanted to expand. It wanted to be Footscray. And then boom, we've got this perfect like-minded values offering that also adds value and makes a difference to our client offering. So it's like all of these things. We've got the cafe space that we've crazily taken on as well. And he's leading that, which is just insane. Insane. But that actually makes a difference to our team. We've got McDonald's next door. That's it. they're getting McDonald's every day. Now they can get a healthy sandwich or a smoothie or a coffee, without having to leave the salon for too long in between a client. If they've eaten a little into their lunch break, it makes a difference. So I think all of these things, when I'm being, when all of they're presenting themselves, because that was not our plan, we ask ourselves that question. It's like, is this going to make a difference? So I think that's my number one value in life is, leaving people better than how I found them.
Yeah.
Wow. You're certainly doing that for our industry.
MAMAWEST making a difference.
Oh,
Sheridan, so many women in our industry have a limiting belief, or they feel like it's impossible to have the incredible business, the amazing team, raise a family and be present with their family. If you could go back to that moment when you were pregnant with Junior, and you could tell yourself something, young Sheridan back then, what would you tell her?
it has to be you can have it all.
Fuck yeah.
You can absolutely have it all. Because I have it all. I have the most incredible man in the whole entire world. And I think I've fallen in love with him all over again, which is really special because I think it was me for so long. And something becomes quite powerful when it turns into we. It's not just me leading now. It's we are leading together. And it took a long time for me to allow him in to I couldn't receive. I'd never received love in my life. I'm only just learning what that is now, through the love of Heath, the love of my son. It's only now, and it's really overwhelming. Like, I've never experienced this before. And I think it's doing the work is probably the most important thing that I've ever done because I have to be open to receive. Otherwise, I'm just going to create this business and then, people are going to come in and I'm going to just cement that belief, I can't have it all, if I don't kind of move through it. So I think, you can have it all if you're prepared to go to the lengths of feeling all of the feelings that you've squashed for your whole life and running away from love. And love will, really set you free. So,
You crying?
I am. I'm always crying. I'm so glad. I have another Cancerian sitting in the room with us because you're the only person that understands the emotional carry that we have to have with us.
Oh,
That was so beautiful. I love that.
MAMAWEST Sheridan-Rose Shaw, thank you so much for being part of the Conscious Salon's Motherhood series. We're so grateful for you and we love you so much.
Oh, it's an honour.
Thank you for sharing your heart here today.
We're so grateful.
Thank you everyone so much for listening to the Conscious Salon podcast.
Love you guys. Stay conscious. Love you, Sheridan.
Stay conscious.
My
I love
God.
that.
That's
Love you.
That's our brand. Should we do a little plug of all the socials?
Yeah, actually, Sheridan, where can we find you?
Mama,
what have you got going on?
We'll have to adjust that.
Are you genuinely hiring? Because we need to put that out there if you are actually
She's put a shitload out there. There's babies, there's staff, there's managers,
sorry,
there's all the
we're
things.
not hiring.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And
hold off.
We're on a hire freeze.
We're not hiring. We are actually because we're at capacity. And we want to grow everyone that we have that's invested in us
really
for the last 2 years. We're in our give back to them at the moment. And the seats are full. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, seats are full, but when they're not, but you can find.
What about
Mama?
are you doing mentoring? Are you doing one-on-one stuff? What are you doing?
So what I'm really heavily focusing on this year is actually my independent education where you can learn how to creatively colour and cut hair and learn about shape. But then I thread all of this stuff into my education because it's just how it goes. So I can assure you that this education is going to be the most inspiring, not just in skill set and understanding and taking away shape and fundamental knowledge to create anything really, but also, feeling really inspired and invigorated and showing you how to do things that you probably thought you could never do. That's my massive focus. So I've got a tour around Australia.
You go to Perth? I read the other day that you're going to Perth. We've actually got a lot of listeners in Perth. So
out workshop.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
No, it's not completely booked out, but out of all the workshops that I've done, Perth has just gone off.
Wow.
I'm just like, wow.
Perth is happening, yeah.
Perth is happening.
We've got to get over there, honestly. We're not, just for a holiday, to be honest.
Just for a holiday. 6 weeks pregnant. We're going to get to Perth.
Offer on a plane.
I reckon I'll squeeze that in.
Sheridan, where can our listeners find you? Can we plug your socials?
Yes. So I share just as vulnerably as I have on these podcasts, on my stories all the time. You'll see me crying in the car, left, right, and centre.
My favourite moments, truly, when you have those little candid car moments. I
I've
love
had
them.
some serious car moments.
They're beautiful.
Thank you. But you can see them Sheridan-Rose Shaw _MamaWest, and then you can see the salon at MAMAWEST with an underscore as well.
Do you know, I just want to say, I have such a little time on social media. I reckon I look at 5 people's social media per day, and you are one of them.
Oh,
So I
that
love
makes
watching
me so
you.
happy.
We're big Mama West lovers.
We are.
Obviously.
It's so mutual though.
We're just, honestly, this is actually only our second time in the flesh. But
I know.
like,
It feels, I know, we just got
even
straight into it at the coffee shop, didn't we?
Did, straight in. But remember at the awards?
Yeah,
Where
we did.
were we?
You were on the
When
table.
we met. And we were just all hugging in, and you look like a fucking pixie rock star that I was just like, who is this incredible
Well, it's the only time I
human?
go out, guys.
I was blown away.
up.
I was clapping that before she even won an award. I was like, wow. But we did. We just fell in love straight away, and it was so special. And we are so grateful for you being here today, sharing so vulnerably. I mean, you've really set the bar for everyone else. So anyone else that's coming on, you've heard the standard.
Thank you so
We
much for
love
being here,
you.
Sheridan. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Conscious Salon
Love
podcast.
you guys. Stay conscious.